25 years ago, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, known as the Sorcerer's Stone here in the U.S., sent wizards and muggles alike into the frenzy known as Pottermania, and Knoxville embraced the phenomenon. Fans were spellbound by the bespectacled boy with the lightning bolt scar who went from living in the cupboard under the stairs to walking the magical halls of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Since then, 6 more books, 8 feature films, multiple spin-offs, and video games, countless amounts of merchandise have kept Pottermania alive and kicking since the book's initial release. So come with us to platform 9 3/4 as we hop on the Hogwarts Express using our time turners to travel back into time and experience the wizarding history of Harry Potter in Knoxville.
Right, oh, good. That's what I need.
The Harry Potter series is basically the story about a young boy who discovers that he is a wizard.
Pottermania officially hit Knoxville in 1999. By then, the first 3 books had been released.
I think they're very well written and they're very creative.
Aimed at middle schoolers, Harry Potter was definitely working his magic because the books were disappearing off the shelves.
Hundreds. We've sold hundreds of each, each of the 3 different ones that are currently in release. It's hard to keep them on the shelf. We have massive bulk orders all the way through the holidays for these, and we're just hoping that we'll be able to match the demand.
The same could be said for local libraries, as waiting lists were well over 100 for some branches.
When I finish it, I just want to read it again and again and again and over and over again.
The Harry Potter books were a hit among parents, too, as it finally got their children to open up a book.
They have really piqued her interest, and she reads for hours, something I've encouraged her to do and have wanted her to do, and I'm just delighted to see that she has gravitated towards these books.
The hype was real for the July 8th, 2000 release of the much-anticipated 4th installment, The Goblet of Fire. Over 300,000 copies were pre-ordered online. As Amazon prepared their palettes of literature, fans were preparing for the next chapter of Potter with a midnight release at Barnes & Noble.
I liked the book so much, I just wanted to come as soon as it was out to see if I could get it right away.
Although she had to get out of her comfort zone, parent Annie Wills was more than willing to stay up late for a chance to be one of the first to read the book.
I don't like crowds. I'm usually asleep by now, and so no, I haven't done this before, and I don't know if I'll do it again until the 5th one comes out, I guess.
It was worth it, though, as according to Wills, Harry Potter was a chance to rekindle the imagination she had lost as she entered adulthood.
He's so good. He cares about people. He's so kind, but he's also got that magical, mystical quality that I think all kids have and then lose as we grow up. You can put yourself in there and live it as you're reading the book, and I think maybe that makes it a little bit different.
1525.
All of us have read the books and we really liked them, so we thought the movie would be awesome.
In the fall of 2001, fans donned their finest wizard frocks and flocked to the movie theaters for the release of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Can I try a Harry Potter combo today?
I'm coming by myself to see Harry Potter. I've read all the books, and I just thought it was really incredible that so many older people are coming to see it as well as the younger people.
If any indication of what we had when we first got here initially, we're going to do really exceptional. Maybe it's Star Wars quality.
Plenty of nuts, sickles, and galleons were spent on everything from toys to clothes.
I have a bunch of Harry Potter stuff.
Mostly shirts and clothing. We've already spent about $100 on Legos, Harry Potter Legos, so I'm sure we'll spend more.
I expected it should sell out. Anything to do with Harry Potter will probably do pretty well.
It indeed did pretty well, as the movie grossed almost $1 billion at the box office.
We're anticipating a pretty big crowd.
I'm sure crowd control is going to be kind of fun.
This week, big 18-wheeler rolled in here, and we unloaded, I guess, 6 or 7 pallets of candy, popcorn, and of course, Coke. Stuff will be in here tomorrow.
Hall Cinema 7 owner Danny Wallace made sure he was stocked and ready for the release of Harry Potter's second theatrical adventure, The Chamber of Secrets. All signs pointed to an ingorgious opening night for the family-owned theater.
And I'm a big football fan, but Halls is out of the playoff. Tennessee's got an early kick at 12:30, so that'll all be over with. Rain all weekend, so I've already made the schedule out, and yeah, we'll be ready to roll. I'm here for the duration. Like I said, I've got me a little studio apartment here in the theater, so I'm here from daylight to dark.
If the first movie's gross was anything to go by,
You know, I anticipate my numbers being real close to the same, which was one of the bigger grossing movies that had ever come out of halls.
And then I have books 1, 2, 3, and 4.
set to be released on June 21st, 2003, the 896-page fifth installment titled The Order of the Phoenix had fans itching for more Potter magic months before its release.
We've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. He's really exciting. He goes on adventures and has fun and is a normal teenager, and it's easy to connect.
We'll have a copy for you at 40% off that day.
It had been almost 3 years since the release of The Goblet of Fire, and the anticipation for the book was also being felt by local booksellers who had pre-orders into the thousands.
I would say probably 3 or 4 times a day. Kids, their parents, stuff like that.
Ask me to put on the pre-order list?
Oh, absolutely.
To meet the demand, Barnes & Noble was hosting another midnight release for the new book.
We are going to be open all evening on June 20th, and we'll start selling the book at 1 minute after midnight.
I think I'll be there at the earliest possible moment.
Trying to beat the crowds, reporter Kay Watson went to local shops to try and get her hands on a copy before anyone else.
That is the actual book right there. Like, yeah, you can't get me. You can't see me yet.
Unfortunately, Scholastic, the publisher of the book, had some strict guidelines on how to handle the hysteria surrounding the next release.
Don't do this, don't do that, don't let anybody see the book, keep the boxes sealed.
The publisher feels that it is necessary, and we have to defer to their thinking on that. Of course, they've got a lot of money riding on this.
Most stores wouldn't even tell us if the books had arrived yet, just 2 days away from release.
We start selling them 12:01 Friday after midnight, and we're not going to be able to get the books till that evening.
So you don't even have them in the store yet?
Right.
So you're scared to admit to me that the books are here?
Well, considering that they were stolen in England, a little.
We'll know. but you know.
What time?
Not sure yet.
I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
One manager told us she had to turn down cash offers for what was expected to be the biggest children's book ever, with a first print run of over 8 million.
Can we see the boxes?
Nope.
We can't even see the boxes.
Can't even see the boxes.
I think that it's really created a lot of buzz around the book. I think Scholastic has done a really good job with marketing, and I think part of the security actually kind of adds to it.
At the end of the day, to the managers of the stores, it is all worth it.
Anytime you can get a child to read and use their imagination, then you're doing a good thing.
Release night was finally upon us, and Potterheads crowded into the bookstores in droves to get their hands on The Order of the Phoenix.
I've been reading the books about 1 million times. I've been making my costume. It took me forever to make my quill. And I've been bouncing off the walls with excitement.
It's always more fun to be there right when it happens. And it's a great way to just go around and meet other people that like Harry Potter.
With so much time to ponder what came next for the students of Hogwarts, rumors were rampant.
Ron's going to join the Quidditch team and somebody's going to die, and then it's all exciting, very exciting. 5,
4, 3, 2, 1. The clock struck 12:01 and books were handed out by the hundreds. But for these fans, the night was only beginning as they journeyed into the Order of the Phoenix. The smiles were wide, and they weren't just coming for the kids.
I'm thrilled that she wants to read, and if this is what she wants to read, that's great. And I'm glad that she that she's hip to what's going on right now.
2004 brought the release of the third movie, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Here at home, fans thought it superseded the first two.
That movie was great. It was awesome. Most of the kids in my class are Harry Potter fans, and they should go see it. And I have a kid in my class that's read, his name is Adam Whitson, and he's read every single book about 3 times. And he would love to see this movie.
Really, really good.
Have you read the books?
Yeah.
How'd this compare to the books?
It was better.
Was it fun? It's fun to watch as the first two, or how did it compare?
It was a little scarier, but it was good.
We thought it was superb, excellently done. A lot better than the other two, and I can't wait for the fourth.
How are you, Harry Potter?
I'm coming to pre-purchase Harry Potter for myself and my nephew and my mother, who's a school teacher also.
In July of 2005, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince was ready to hit the shelves. And just like its predecessors, the anticipation was high for this new installment. Once again, the works of fiction were locked up tight, and not even employees were privy to information about it.
I've had a couple of people ask me how many copies we're getting in, how many we have, and that's all I can tell them. I don't know, because it's all wrapped up tight. We're not allowed to know.
This time around, Books A Million had adopted a voucher system to guarantee patrons a copy of the book at their midnight release party.
If I'm going to stay up that late, there better be a copy waiting.
I see how many of the vouchers that I've sold since we started doing those, and if half of those people come in, it's going to be like a madhouse.
This kind of a blockbuster in a children's book is new, and it's delightful.
The same month, it was announced that the Knox County Library System would receive 120 copies of the sixth book in the saga of Potter, much to the delight of young readers.
I don't get this excited about the other books coming out in other series as I do about the new book coming out in this series.
For librarian Libby Nelson, Harry Potter's a gateway to other books that children wouldn't normally inquire about.
They are lining up to get the books. They want to reread the ones they've read before when the new one comes out. Then it leads them into, what else do you have that's like Harry Potter? I just want their face in a book. So if this gets them reading, I'm all for it.
2005 ended with a bang with the release of the fourth movie, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
We're seeing Harry Potter.
Why?
Because it's awesome.
We're Harry fans. What can I say? Harry Potter fans.
I'm so excited. I love Harry Potter. I've read all the books multiple times. I'm here with all my friends.
We've been working on these costumes ever since the beginning of summer, just for this movie.
It's very exciting.
Oh, Harry Potter!
Woo!
After the fourth movie's release, fans would have to wait until the summer of 2007 to witness the magic once again. July 2007 proved to be a big month for Potterheads, as the fifth movie, The Order of the Phoenix, made its way to our movie theaters and even drive-ins on July 11th. Just 10 days later, on July 21st, the seventh and final book, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, marked the end of the literary journey for Harry, Ron, Hermione, and so many unforgettable characters. As they had done for most of the previous books, local retailers held midnight releases for the print powerhouse, and fans once again dressed up to the nines with robes and hats and wands as the mainline Harry Potter story came to a close.
I'm just so glad it's finally out. Even though I've heard a few spoilers, I don't care. I'm still going to read it.
Although the pages of Harry Potter closed, the movies show no signs of slowing down. Another 2 years passed until Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince hit cinemas, being the sixth movie in the cinematic escapades of the beloved characters. Fans still came out to support their favorite wizard.
This one's very, very good. I mean, it goes within the realm of the Harry Potter books, and this one actually matches the book to a T. So I really, really enjoyed this movie.
I'm Moaning Myrtle, who lives in a toilet bowl.
To the surprise of many fans, Harry's seventh book would be split into two movies, extending our enchanting experience just a little bit longer. Roughly a year and a half after the previous release, fans were able to witness the penultimate cinematic chapter of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1.
I've had it on my calendar circled for, I don't know, ever since I heard it was going to come out, and I've just been waiting.
Once again, fans absolutely adored the film. Caution, spoiler warning ahead.
I like the love part of the story between Hermione.
Yeah,
Ron.
That was real touching, real touching.
After seeing all of the other movies, after watching this, it has blown my mind away, and I don't know if I can wait 6 months for the part 2 to come out.
We are making snitch cupcakes.
In preparation for the final cinematic outing, superfans Anna and Sophie decided to tailgate at the theater, complete with cupcakes and butterbeer. They took a moment from their baking to make a toast to the lives lost throughout the years.
To Albus Dumbledore. Yeah.
That made me so sad in the end of the 6th book. I was like, you can't die.
You're supposed to drink after you post it.
We've kind of obsessed over Harry Potter together. It's been cool because no other friends I knew were this deep into it. It'll be around for decades. It's just like a literary classic, you know? 50 years from now, kids will still be picking up those books. It's timeless. So I think people are just gonna be always reading them, and I wanna be able to say when I'm 50, just like I went to the premiere. People are really excited for this. They've waited a long time for this movie.
And wait, they did. 5 hours before the midnight release, fans began lining up outside the Regal Pinnacle to see the film. To pass the time, patrons read books, played games, and even practiced their wizardry. Having to wait in the long line, however, did not lessen the magic in the least.
I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, but more than that, I'm just a fan of what the story is telling.
We're both about getting ready to graduate college, so it's kind of the last time we can be kids like this.
We just knew this was going to be a great time, and because it was the very last installment, and I had never done one of these midnight things before, I thought, I'm going to do this. This will be fun.
Anna and Sophie made their way inside the theater and took a moment for the atmosphere to sink in.
Great to see all the costumes, and even the management is wearing like Gryffindor ties, so that's really cool. I'm excited. I can't wait. It's the very end, so very exciting.
The poster said it best. It all ends. Almost 15 years since the release of the first novel in the series, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 put a bow on the story of Harry Potter proper.
As the movies have winded down and the books have ended, it's been an excitement and a little bittersweet at the same time.
The cinematic saga went out with a bang.
It's fantastic. I mean, it was everything I hoped it'd be. They put everything in there, and they even added a whole lot of stuff that I didn't expect to be in there, and it was just great. So they did it perfectly.
The story of the little boy that lived under the stairs at number 4 Privet Drive had reached its finale, but the influence he left would be felt for years to come.
Culture that has been used in a college classroom.
In 2012, Professor Jake Hamrick at Pellissippi State taught a course called Harry Potter and the Goblet of Higher Education. The class focused on how to bring lessons learned from the Harry Potter books and apply them to real life.
These classrooms for a course in Harry Potter that may have an opening of 25 students and 75 show up on the first day because they know Harry Potter and they want to discover from a teacher, an expert, how can we learn about this and apply it to politics or morality or power.
What's up, Bonnaroo? We're Lil Iffy from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Rapper and Oak Ridge native Lil Iffy Wright brought a dose of magic to the hip-hop game with the style that he coined one core.
She turned around and said, 10 points to Gryffindor. Like, the books are so rich with language and mythology, and now it's 3 years later, and the one song, Ha Ha Ha, has taken us everywhere.
A National Library of Medicine traveling exhibit made its way to the University of Tennessee's hospital to show the comparison between the magic in Harry Potter to Renaissance science, magic, and medicine. The exhibit was used as a learning tool for students and teachers alike.
Well, I love Harry Potter, and I love the connection that you don't think about. You don't think about Harry Potter with science that much or with the medicine aspect. So it's really interesting, and I really just hope people can take away and learn something.
Even Quidditch tournaments have been held in the park fields across the area. And of course, what mega franchise would be complete without spin-offs? Harry Potter-related book releases are still popping up from time to time.
I was really excited. I mean, people have been waiting for this for years. I'm interested to see how his kids are doing, and him and Harry and Ron and Hermione themselves.
When I was a kid, there were, books like the Ramona books that were kind of big, but nothing like Harry Potter. I read the books as they were published, in my early days of being a children's librarian, and then I've reread them with my children too. So it's, gotten to start all over again with a new generation. They're just really well written. The characters are so interesting. The world that's created in the stories is really fascinating, and I think kids can really dive into those stories, and it shows that kids are capable of, really reading longer books than I think people thought that they were capable of reading, and they just really all seem to love them. it sparked an interest in older fantasy novels for kids. Authors like Susan Cooper and Lloyd Alexander were rediscovered when Harry Potter came out. And then I think what's nice now is that we're seeing books also set in these magical schools or magical worlds that are a little more diverse. There's more diverse characters, they're written by authors of color, and I think it's just continuing that same tradition, which is fantastic. I think it's always possible that there could be another phenomenon. I mean, there are these authors that are just great at tapping into what kids love and creating these worlds and introducing these characters that, you know, a child just really latches onto. That's one of the main reasons I do what I do, is to instill that love of reading in kids, and anything that can make a child be excited about reading is something that I can get behind.
And the Hogwarts Express shows no signs of slowing down, with even more projects on the horizon and a 25th anniversary re-release of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. The magic will remain for years to come.